Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to another monthly makeup review, this time for May. May was a pretty crazy month. I didn't realize beforehand, but I was going to be gone for a week of it, so I really only had 3 weeks to test these products, but I was able to test out a lot and I have a lot of reviews to give you as always, so let's just jump right into it. First up, let's talk about the Pixi Rose Flash Balm, and this for me was a fail, but not to any fault of its own. I just feel like it's not meant for my skin type, which is very oily skin. Maybe in the winter I could have gotten away with it, but honestly, like for comparison, I really like this winter, but as we're getting into summer, I'm starting to not be able to wear it, and this was just, it made me even more oily than this one does. So if you have extremely dry skin, I think you would like this. I had no problems with the texture. It's a very like thick, almost lotiony type of texture, if you guys can see here. It's just, it looks like a bit of lotion and you just rub it in and it's clear, dries down, whereas the Smashbox is a lot more liquidy and goes on like a serum, whereas this I would say goes on more like a thick lotion. But so if you have extremely dry skin, I say give it a try, but for me this just did not work out for me. It made me way too oily even when it was a bit colder. So the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir, everyone raves about it, and for me I'm calling this an okay product. I love how it goes on, I love how it applies. It gives me a very natural look to my makeup. It doesn't look too cakey, too makeup-y. It's not too thick, not heavy coverage. I would say light to medium coverage, but it just gives you a healthy look to your skin, and I really do like it for that. I've been reaching this a lot for the everydays, but the con that keeps me from calling this a favorite of mine is because I can't depend on it for more than a couple hours. Like, typically for me, after I do my makeup, by lunchtime it's looking super shiny, and then it just continues to get worse throughout the day. So if I was ever going anywhere or I just wanted my makeup to look nice all day, I couldn't wear this because it gets so oily. I did try this with my best like mattifying primer underneath, and it was better. It lasted, I would say, like 6 hours. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to continue to use this bottle up, but it's just okay, you know, in the fact that I can't depend on it, so it's not a favorite of mine. It's not something I can just grab and know that I'm going to look nice all day. I did like it, how it looked like on camera when I was recording videos or taking pictures or something like that. It looks very nice, but it just doesn't hold up for me. The Covergirl Lid Lock Up, I'm really pleased to say that I do like this. There were a couple days where I noticed creasing at the end of a day. Now keep in mind, the end of my days are at least 10 to usually 14 hours long. It's just how long I wear my makeup in a typical day, so bear that in mind when I say that by the end of the day there is creasing. But for the most part, the majority of the times I did my makeup with this, it held up just as nicely as my Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer. This one is a lot more sticky and has a lot more tack than the Lorac Behind the Scenes one. I would caution that if you're using this, it is easier to use this and set it because it's so sticky. If you're not careful, you can get those like skid marks almost when you're blending your shadows. But overall, I mean, this held up really well. It's not replacing my Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer just because I enjoy that one more and I don't have to worry about it being so sticky and tacky that it leaves skid marks, whereas I do with this one. But overall, I really do enjoy it and I will continue to use it and recommend it as a good drugstore alternative. I'm super disappointed in this, but another fail for me was the Jouer liquid lipsticks. This one is in Bare, and I just did not like it. I'm going to stick a picture in here showing you guys one day when I applied this on my lips, and I applied it, packed the kids up in the car, got in the car, pulled out, so it couldn't have been more than like, I don't know, 10 minutes from the time I applied it to when I looked at it in the car. And that's what it looks like. Like, it looked like I'd been wearing it for hours and even eaten a meal in it. It gave me such a bad line in my inner lip, and it looks so cracked and just thick and chunky on my lips. You guys know I'm someone who wears a lot of liquid lipsticks. I like liquid lipsticks, and for me, I'll just take the way it accentuates my lines in my lips. I don't mind it that bad. But this was really bad, and it was really drying. It didn't transfer, so that was good, but it wasn't comfortable to wear, and just the way it made, I just didn't like how it looked from the get-go. So for that reason, this was a huge fail for me. I did not like it, and I actually have 2 more that I haven't opened because I bought from Jouer's website 3 in, you know, the same order. So I have 2 other ones that I'm going to probably just try to sell off on Poshmark because I don't like this formula, and there's no reason to open those and try them because if they're anything like this, I'm not going to like them. I was super disappointed in this because I feel like everyone raves about them, but I did not like them. I just want to briefly mention these two products from Ebates London. They're not my favorite, and one is the Lippy liquid lipstick, and the other one is their like lip gloss. It's their Plush Rush lip gloss. I tried both of these this month, and they just were okay. If you like a lip gloss, this performs just like a typical lip gloss, but don't expect this color. When you apply this, it just looks like a translucent lip gloss with shimmer, so don't expect any of this like ultraviolet goodness that's going on here. It doesn't show up like that. Here, I can even show you. So as you can see, like, it isn't totally translucent, but when you put that on your colored lips, it really doesn't, I couldn't see much of the purple come through. And maybe if you're a lip gloss fanatic, you can be like, oh yes, there's lots of purple, like that looks like iridescent, but for me, I just put it on and it was like, what's the point? I just didn't care for it. And then also their Lippy liquid lipstick, I tried out one in the nude and that one was okay, but this is just not my favorite because it's so thick, and because this is colored purple, it's extremely streaky. Let me see if I can show you. So I think you can kind of tell how it doesn't, if you go on and you're trying to coat your lips evenly, unless you're just really piling it on and making your lips super gloopy, and then it'll look like smooth without any lines in it. But it's just a very sticky type of liquid lipstick. This isn't the one that kind of dries down. It honestly looks and feels just like their glosses, except just a tad more sticky. Overall, I just didn't like this. The nude one might be okay. I think I remember wearing it a few times and was just like, it's a sticky lip gloss. But it's a little bit better because the nude, you don't see the lines. But with this being this color, I tried to wear it a couple times when I was recording a video or just for a look, and I was just like, no, I don't want to wear this. So this was a big fail. So next, let's talk about the Lemonade Craze palette from Maybelline. I had high hopes for this because when I swatched it, I was impressed. I never felt a Maybelline eyeshadow palette feel like this felt, and I'll go ahead and link down below my Instagram picture where I swatched them all out, and I shared a picture on Instagram, so if you want to see how they look swatched, it's down there. But overall, this is an okay product. It's the best Maybelline palette I've ever tried. It's much better than the ones in the past that I've tried from them. So I'll give them that. But overall, this is a very soft palette. And honestly, when you actually look at it, you can kind of tell this is meant to be a soft palette. These colors, they show up nicely, but you need to use some kind of concealer underneath it and just pat it on to really get that color. This shade a little bit, but these two shades are much more glittery and just kind of glitter chunk, not a whole lot of color to them, so I did have to use a glitter glue underneath them to keep them from falling all over my face throughout the day. It's just not as nice as I was hoping for, and honestly, these shades are so soft, I feel like I'm gonna hit pan if I am not too careful with them. And after I record this video, when I'm gonna do a close-up, and I just want to show you guys how soft they are. Okay, so future Katy here, I'm just going to stick this in when I'm talking about the Maybelline palette. As I said, this formula is so extremely soft, and that's honestly one of my fears of recommending it, so I was like, well, let me see. And I did hit pan. I pressed it back in there, but it's such a soft formula, so be aware of that. I feel like at this point, because I just tried that out, I put this in a fail because if you're not super gentle, which I feel like if you're a beginner, you're not extremely gentle. I don't know, maybe you are extra gentle. I don't know. If you're not gentle with this, you'll go through it in a week. And at that price, might as well buy a high-end. If you go through one of these a week, buy a high-end palette. It'll last you much longer. So overall, yeah, I'm going to stick this as a fail because I hit pan. The Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I had a lot of people ask me to try this out and see if it's worth the purchase. And I just feel like I'm not the right person for this. I don't notice a difference when I do wear it and when I don't. I have been using it just to use it as like a first primer and then I go on with another primer, or I do the primer and then do this over it. You know, I just use it in addition to another primer, and I've been using it up and it's fine, but it's not doing anything crazy for my makeup, and that's why it's okay. It's not doing anything bad. It's not doing anything crazy good, at least that I can tell, but it smells nice, so I'll continue to use it for that. So those are my thoughts on that. Let's talk about the Katy Kat palette with CoverGirl. It's in the Cool Cat variety. This little palette here, I had a lot of fun using this past week or so. I forget how many looks I created with this, but it was really nice, a lot of fun. These colors are extremely soft, so you want to go in with it in a very, very light hand, or you're gonna like scoop out everything. My daughter wanted to swatch this one and like just took off the whole face. But overall, they're very nice. You have to use a glitter glue with these because there's so much glitter fallout if you don't. But you can get some really pretty pastel looks, and I really enjoyed this for like very springy looks. Overall, this is a nice palette. It's nothing that's gonna give you any kind of super impactful in color, but it will give you a lot of very pretty soft looks. All right, so another day, another makeup look. I was working on editing this video and I realized that I mentioned both the Maybelline and the CoverGirl as being very soft formula, and I tried out on the Maybelline one if I could hit pan, and I did, but I never thought to do it on this one. And as I was editing the video together and everything I was saying, I was like, man, Katie, you're making them sound the same. Like, why wouldn't you do the same thing for each of them? I do kind of think that this is different, and this is just one tiny step up better than the Maybelline one. But anyway, watching it back, I was like, man, you're making them sound the same. So I wanted to come back on here, and I went ahead and tried to hit pan on it. I tried on 2 different eyeshadows to see if I could hit pan, and didn't hit pan on either of them, even though I use the same kind of pressure. I feel like it's just a little bit better, and I put it in my okay category because it's nice. You can get some really soft, pretty pastel looks with it. I was more impressed with this one than I was with the Maybelline one, even though this one didn't blow my socks up either, and definitely wasn't a favorite of mine or anything like that this month. But yeah, I just want to come on here and clarify that because I felt like my review wasn't getting the message across like I had wanted it to, so there you go. Let's talk about some highlighters now. I have the Hard Candy Fox in a Box in Girl Boss. This little box blush here, box blush, I'm thinking of Benefit. This little box highlighter here, this is from Hard Candy, and I honestly didn't have crazy high expectations for this, but oh my goodness, did this blow my socks off. I was so impressed with this. I could not believe the shine that I got from this little baby here. I don't have it on today, so I can't show you, but I have been wearing it in videos. If I can remember which video it is, I'll link it up here so you guys can go and see. Hopefully, as I'm moving and stuff like that, you'll be able to see the highlight, but it was very, very pretty, and it lasts pretty decently. The one con I will say is it doesn't last as long as some other highlighters that I have, in that by the end of the day, if I look, it looks very toned down. I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting much from this highlighter, but oh my goodness, it blew my socks off, and I was very impressed. So this is definitely a favorite of mine this month, and I highly recommend it. It's from Hard Candy, so it's pretty darn affordable, and it's in a cute little box. The highlighter that I do have on my face today is the Smashbox and Vlada Petal Metal Highlighter in Gilded Rose. First off, packaging, I mean, I'm totally gonna admit it here, and I've admitted it many times since I bought it. The whole reason that I purchased this was because of the packaging. This is so pretty. Now, I have it on my face today, and I think you just get a really, really pretty highlight. Nothing crazy, and that's what when I was telling people my thoughts on this highlighter is, it's absolutely stunning, but it's no different than any other type of really nice highlighter. It's nothing super intense where it looks like you have a stripe on your face, but it gives you a very nice, like intense natural, if that makes sense, and that's my favorite. So overall, this was a favorite of mine this month. I really enjoyed it. It's a very hard type of, what do you call it? Highlighter, or like it's pressed in there very firmly, so more of a denser kind of scratchy, I think is what people call it. Brush is the best to kind of pick it up, but overall this is a huge favorite of mine. I've loved wearing it. I think it looks beautiful. It lasts really nicely throughout the day. I still see it very nicely on my cheeks by the end of the day. Overall, I like it. Do I recommend it? If you like the packaging, because this really honestly is like a collector piece. I'm going to use it. I'm going to eventually make this disappear, I hope, because I use it so much. But overall, I wanted to get it for the collector aspect of it, and I do think it's worth it. Those are my 2 cents on this product. I really love it, but it's nothing super different, to put it that way. Let's keep it moving with the Smashbox. What is this even called? Photo Edit Eyeshadow Trios. I just tried 3 this month. This one's in Nudie Pick Deep, in Snap Queen, and then in Holy Crap. And I think this is really nice. These are really nice. They blend beautifully. They perform well. The shimmers are more of like a shimmer, almost like a, nothing intense, like metallic, just a very nice sheen type of look, but you can wet them and get a more intense shimmer. My issue is that they're pretty darn pricey. If you're someone who just wants 3 shadows, you know, oh, I'm going to use this here, this here, this here, and that's it, like not a whole palette to overwhelm you, I can see myself recommending you try one of these and just get the color that you like. But they're pretty darn pricey for just getting 3 shadows, so keep that in mind. But if you were looking at these and you were curious, the quality is there. I had no issues blending. They perform very well. They last all day. I had no issues, but I just have a hard time recommending them because of the price tag. So Stilazzi sent me their gel eyeliners, and I've had so much fun using them this month. They are the most creamy, the most smooth, the most easy to apply gel liners that I've used in a long time. I even compared this and did side by side to my Holy Grail one from Maybelline, and these were smoother and easier to apply, and they were still pigmented. Now L'Oreal's is almost as smooth. Their little gel one is almost as smooth as this, but the issue with L'Oreal is a lot of times it's so smooth, it's patchy, and I have to go back over and kind of fill in any areas that was so smooth it just didn't leave enough color behind. But these I do not have that problem with. So smooth, so pigmented. They come in a lot of really pretty colors, and yeah, these have been amazing. I've had so much fun using them. If you follow me on Instagram, you've been seeing me tag them in my Insta stories every day because I share my makeup of the day. I've been loving them and I highly, highly recommend them. I feel like I had a lot of hits this month, but this one from Flower Beauty, their Lash Warrior Mascara, is another hit. I have it on my lashes today, and it's the only thing I have on my lashes, and I just did 2 coats. It's so easy to just coat all your lashes, and I feel like it curls them a little bit too. It defines them, it lengthens them a little bit. It doesn't do anything crazy of each of those. If you want really intense black or just definition, you can go on with more coats to get that, but overall, just as a one and done mascara, this is where it's at, and I've been loving it. And I think the reason I love it so much is because of the wand. I'll have to stick a close-up, but it's just so unique, and it makes it very easy for me to get this side, because I can usually get my lashes to look really nice on this side, but I'm someone who, when I go to the other side, I don't flip my mascara. I can't do it well. I end up poking my eye, I get it all over the place, stuff happens. So I just go like this and do it, and I feel like I can never get this side to look as good as this side, but because of these bristles, it latches onto my outer lashes so well, and I can really stand it up and still get my inner lashes. This is really nice if you're someone who also just kind of goes to the other side and doesn't flip your hand around to get your other side, whatever your dominant hand is, the other side, whatever that's called. I cannot think of it at the moment, but you know what I mean. Try this mascara out. I remember the first time I used this, I like got it in there close and I swiped it up my lashes and I was just like, whoa, like that was easy. That was easy, and my eyelashes look intense. Okay, so let's talk about some singles that I have here in this little palette, which, by the way, this is MYO. I think it's called MYO Cosmetics or Case Cosmetics. I will leave it linked down below. I had a couple people on my Instagram ask me after I showed this palette and just kind of curious what it was, so I'll leave them linked down below, but it's really handy for travel. It comes with a brush. Comes with these little like magnetic things to sort it out, and it comes with a couple other things where you can put like liquid products if you're going away like for 2 days. You don't want to take your whole foundation bottle. It's like little containers you can put in here and just squirt some foundation in. I think it's amazing. I never use it because I never go anywhere for that quick of trip, but I think it's a really cool concept. Anyway, that's not what this is about. We are talking about these mattes right here. These are from NBA Cosmetics, which these glitters are also. I've only used the glitters once this month, so I'm going to save these to try and review next month. I just didn't get around to it, but these mattes are amazing. I have this orange one, which is called Tiger Lily, in my crease, and it was so pigmented. It went on so well, blended so nicely. The yellow also is stunning. You lay it on and it's that yellow, and the green also stunning. I had so much fun using these 3 this past month. Now, because the fact that there are just 3 mattes, I did use them along with these shadows over here, which we'll get into in a minute, so there's no looks that I can show you where this was only used. So the pictures you're seeing are going to be these NBA Cosmetic eyeshadows. Those are the mattes, and then any shimmers you see in the looks are these, which are Krisanna Ann's single eyeshadows. Today I have NYX on all over my lid, and then I put a little bit of Eros in my inner corner, which I'm not sure is very smart because now I felt like I look a little sick, but I wanted to pop the pink in there somewhere. But these shadows from Krisanna Ann are stunning. I'm so sorry if I look washed out. It is raining over here and I only use natural lighting, so we're gonna hurry up and try to finish this before I lose all my lighting. But anyway, both of these amazing quality and very affordable. I'm not 100% sure about the price for these, but I know these were like $4.50. $5. I think they were under $5. So overall, highly recommend Krisanna Ann and NBA Cosmetics for their mattes and shimmers. So I wore BareMinerals. I think this is called the Gen Nudes line. This is in Swag. It's their liquid lipstick. And I really enjoyed it. I wore this a couple times this past month. I wore it even more the month before that, but I just forgot to mention it. But overall, I think these are a really nice formula. They're not transfer proof. They're pretty darn transfer resistant. They remind me of like the high-end version of the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. So if you like those, you're definitely going to like this. Or if you were wearing this, but you know, you're about to use one up, but you don't want to repurchase it, maybe try the NYX ones as a more affordable option because the comfort level is the same. Once or twice when I was wearing them, my children would touch or like accidentally bump into me and it smeared a little bit, but since it was this nude color, it wasn't super noticeable. So all that to say, like, it was okay. Like, I'm glad I wouldn't get anything deep in like dark in this formula because then it would be everywhere. I really enjoy those. I really enjoyed this. So overall, this was really nice and a favorite of mine. I also tried Krisanna Ann's liquid lipstick, and this one's in Selfie. I have it on today. I know I'm looking washed out at this point. I'm so sorry. But I do like this formula. It's not my favorite, but it is pretty darn nice. It's pretty darn comfortable. You feel it on your lips a little bit, so it's not the most comfortable liquid lipstick I have worn. It's not one you put on and forget that you're wearing, but it lasts very nicely, so I really enjoyed that about it. As I said, it's not the most comfortable and it isn't the longest wearing, but overall I do enjoy this. So last up, this is a favorite of mine and totally random because I don't think I picked this out to try and like focus on this month, but I pulled this Butter London Plush Rush Satin Matte Lipstick in Clever. And I think I pulled it from the Nude drawer and I wore it once and was like, ooh, that's really comfortable. And I've worn it so many times this past month, so I felt like I had to mention it as a favorite of mine. It's extremely comfortable. It's just like a lipstick, so don't expect anything like crazy wear time, but it looks so nice. It's very pigmented. It has a bit of like a minty smell and a feel on the lips, so it's very like, feels very nice on your lips and makes your lips look like super plump. And like it says, it's a satin matte, and I think that's a great description because it doesn't look super glossy, but it definitely doesn't look matte. It just looks very healthy. And this color in particular, Clever, looks really good. It's like my perfect nude. I really enjoyed wearing it. I really like this formula, and I mean, bonus is that Butter London packaging, so luxe. It's magnetic and a very nice strong magnetic. Nothing about it feels cheap. It performs really well, as I said. I love this color in Clever, and overall this was a big hit, a big favorite of mine this month. And there you have it. Those are all the products that stood out to me this month as being hits, as being misses, and as being just okay products. I hope this was helpful to you. I really enjoy doing these kind of monthly makeup reviews. I always try to make sure I point out like the things that stood out the most because I'm trying to be quick here because I got a lot of products to go through. So if there's any product that I mentioned but you would like to see more in-depth information about, let me know. Yeah, my fear is always with these monthly makeup reviews that I don't give enough information so that I am not being helpful. But I hope what I shared was helpful and that you guys are able to kind of discern if it's something you would like or you wouldn't like. And as I said, if there's anything that you need more clarification, you can ask me for a review, or honestly just ask me in the comments and I'll be happy to answer that for you. And if I see a bunch of people asking the same question, I can always either do an in-depth review on that product or just kind of clarify it in a future video for you guys, a future monthly makeup review, something like that. But I just want to make sure that I am giving you guys the information you need and not being too vague, not being too useless with these videos. But yeah, with all that said, that wraps up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye guys.